Hello and welcome to my Kali Linux tutorial. Um, this video is going to be showing you how to install Kali Linux and what it is and what it's used for. So the first thing you want to do is open any web browser that you have. I have Google Chrome, so let's just close that. That's from another attempt. And you just want to head on over to kali.org, and once you're here you'll be presented with this screen. Click on anything that you like, has a lot of good info. But if we just want to click on Downloads tab and click Download Kali Linux, and this is where you can choose whether you have a 64-bit or 32-bit computer. I would recommend 64-bit if your computer can handle it. Makes it a lot easier and much faster. So I'm going to click the ISO, and it's going to be a big file, 2.9 gigabytes, but I already have it installed just to speed this process up. But what you would like to do is just let it install and everything like that, and then come back to this video when you're done. So once it's installed and everything, you want to either put it in your downloads or on here on your desktop, and somewhere where you can remember it. And you just want to open any VMware type software. I use VMware Workstation. Works well. Just to run your Kali Linux ISO. So once we're in here, I would do File and do a new virtual machine, or just keep it default, typical, recommended. And you just want to click on Install Disk Image, and you want to just find where you saved your ISO for Kali Linux. Mine's on my desktop under ISO file, and let's just click that, and it will say Debian 7 64-bit detected. That's good. Then you want to click Next. You name this whatever you want. And this is where it's going to be saved at. I'll just leave that default. Click Next. This is where you get to pick what size you want your how much hard drive space you want your Kali Linux to have. I would just leave it on default and just pick Store Virtual Disk on a single file. It just makes it easier if you want to ever delete it or modify it, just keep it on one. Then we'll click Next. You want to make sure all your settings are right. I would just leave this all default pretty much. I might change the memory, put it to 1 megabyte or 1 gigabyte, sorry. But for right now, since it's just a tutorial, I'll just leave it default. Click Finish, and then it's going to bring you to this little tab, and we can click Power on this virtual machine. It's going to start this. Okay, and this is where you can pick how you want to install this. So I would recommend just graphical install, so easiest and most user friendly. Click Enter, and it's just gonna start installing it. So I'm gonna choose English, United States, wherever you live. I'm gonna use American English. Gonna do all this. So what Kali Linux is mainly used for, it's a penetration testing software, or not really software, it's a operating system, and it comes with a lot of useful tools for penetration testing, and that will help you a lot. I'll get more into that when it's installing. So for right now, it's just installing everything. It's going to bring you with this. I would just leave it Kali. Makes it a lot easier. Let's continue. If you have a domain name, you can put that in there. I don't, so I'm just going to click Continue. Now this is your password. You can put this as whatever you want. I'm going to put Tor, which is root backwards. Just helps me remember. This is where you select your time zone. I am in Central, so I'm going to choose Central. Continue. Just installing everything. And I would just use GuidedU's entire disk. You don't really need to pay attention to these other three. Press continue. Press continue again. I would put all in one partition. It says recommended for new users, so just keep that default. Press continue, and then you want to make sure this is all correct, and it looks like it to me, so I'm going to click finish partition and rate this. Don't really need to pay attention to this. Just click yes, press continue. Then it's going to start splitting up your disk drive on the virtual machine and install everything. Now this could take quite a while depending on how fast your computer is. For me, it usually takes 10 to 15 minutes. So I'll come back when this is done. Again, so now we are at configure the package manager. It's going to ask you if you want to use a network mirror. I would leave it default and press yes, press continue, and then just leave this blank unless you have a specific proxy that you want to use. And it's going to be retrieving files, and I'll be back to you when the next prompt comes up. Alright, so now it's asking us if we want to put and install the RUB bootloader. I would just leave it yes, just like most things, just leave it default. This just makes it so you don't have to manually install most of the files on the hard drive and operating system, stuff like that. So just click yes, and press continue again. And now it's going to be installing the RUB bootloader. So once again, I'll be back when the next prompt comes up. Alright, so finally we have installation complete, and this means that everything got installed correctly, and you should be all good. So let's just press continue. It's just finishing up the installation. Shouldn't take too long. Alright, just save some time. I'll just pause the recording and I'll restart it when it's all done. Okay, so it's finally all done, finished, and we are at the main screen. So once you're here, you want to click on Other, and this is where you type in your username, which if you left it default, it should be root. Click Login, and whatever password you put. So mine is Tor, and then it's going to load up and put you in the main screen. Just give it a second. Okay, and here we are. So, as you can see, you have your internet connection. You could shut down, restart, and everything like that. You have your file system in here, all your files, and the fun part, which is where you have all your Linux tools, everything in here, and of course your terminal, which is pretty much the most important part. So the first thing that I would do is type in get update, and this is just gonna perform all the updates that you need, which weren't too many, and that's just gonna perform some updates, and then I would press up on the keyboard and put upgrade. Now this is going to do a larger install. As you can see, 18.3 megabytes. So since this is going to take a while, I'm not going to press it, but if you were to install this, I would press Y and just let it go through its thing. But this takes quite a while, so I'm not really going to do it for this tutorial. But that's pretty much how you install Kali Linux. And so yeah, thank you for watching. Watch out for my next tutorial, which is where I'm going to be teaching you about Metasploit and some other cool things in Kali Linux. Alright, so thank you again for watching.